Hello guys, welcome to this video. So now we will go through the next unit of this SAP learning journey, building side-by-side extensions on SAP BTP. In the previous videos, we have covered unit 1 completely. We have also completed unit 2 and we also did the quiz for unit 2. Now we will start with unit 3, serving user interfaces in CAP. So we'll start with the first module of the third unit, serving user interfaces in CAP. So front-end capabilities, support for user interfaces. So this is the diagram which they have provided. So here we see a database, and on top of the database, we create services, and these services are consumed as APIs by front-end applications. So in our CAP application, we will have a database where we'll have a CDS model on the database. And on top of that, we will create our CAP service. And this CAP service can be consumed by an SAP Fiori UI or any other UI also. So CAP supports the integration of user interfaces. Okay, CAP supports the integration of user interfaces. All services provided by CAP can not only be consumed by other services, but also from user interface UIs. So whatever CAP service we create as an OData service, that OData service can be consumed by any other consuming application as a REST API, and it also can be consumed by a user interface. So the CAP service can be consumed in these two ways. So while CAP is open and services can be consumed by any UI framework by sending standard AJAX requests. So it can be, a CAP service can be consumed by any UI framework like say Vue.js, for example. However, out-of-the-box support is provided for consumption of CAP service in SAP Fiori UI. CAP and SAP Fiori. CAP provides out-of-the-box support for SAP Fiori Elements UI. So for example, with respect to SAP Fiori annotations and advanced features such as search, value helps, and SAP Fiori drafts. Okay, so for any SAP Fiori Elements UI application, out-of-the-box support is provided, and there are some features which are provided out of the box by these SAP Fiori Elements UI, and these are with respect to SAP Fiori annotations and advanced features such as search, value helps, and SAP Fiori draft. So these are provided out of the box just by making use of SAP Fiori annotations. Drafts are used to prevent data loss in case an app terminates unexpectedly or to prevent an object being edited by multiple users concurrently. So this is a draft is a feature which is provided in SAP Fiori Elements UI, and it is used to prevent data loss in case an app terminates unexpectedly. So it will just save your data in draft mode, like it won't commit to the database, but it will just persist your data in the draft mode so that when you resume your work in the application, you can just start from where you had left. And it also prevents an object being edited by multiple users concurrently. So that is the draft feature. A single CAP project can contain multiple SAP Fiori apps. So one single CAP project, which means, say, for example, one database and one CAP service, or say multiple CAP services, it can contain multiple SAP Fiori apps also. Now, despite the fact that the SAP UI5 is also possible, we will focus on SAP Fiori elements. So you can create a freestyle SAP UI5 application also in your CAP application consuming the CAP service, but here we will focus on SAP Fiori elements app. So special UI specific annotations make it possible to enrich the exposed service with instructions for SAP Fiori elements. So we make use of UI specific annotations to enrich the exposed service and instructions with SAP Fiori elements. SAP Fiori elements also reads the metadata document and the entity definition to generate the UI. So this is what SAP Fiori elements do. All SAP Fiori apps of an CAP application should go into the app folder. So in the folder structure of our CAP application, we should have an app folder where all the SAP Fiori apps related code should reside. For speeding up the UI development, especially for SAP Fiori elements, SAP Fiori tools provide advanced support for adding and designing SAP Fiori apps to existing CAP projects. So to speed up the development of SAP Fiori elements, SAP Fiori tools provide advanced support for designing Fiori apps to existing CAP projects. They also come with a plenty of productivity tools, which encompass visual tools for designing SAP Fiori pages. So there are SAP Fiori tools which are provided to speed up the development of SAP Fiori elements. So we'll just go through some of these SAP Fiori tools. So SAP Fiori tools are pre-installed in the SAP Business Application Studio. So when we create a development space, a dev space for us in the Business Application Studio for creating, for implementing a full stack CAP application, these SAP Fiori tools are pre-installed in the Business Application Studio and can be used out of the box. You can also install the extension in Visual Studio Code if you are using Visual Studio Code for your development. So now this page map editor, the page map, it is a feature that comes with SAP Fiori tools. Just remember this name, page map editor. This can be used as a visual productivity tool to change and design the SAP Fiori user interfaces. So this is a tool which is provided and which can be used to make changes and to design your SAP Fiori UI. Behind the scenes, it generates all the required annotation files, which can then be checked into version control. We will go through this particular page map editor feature in the next exercise as well. So the following visualizes the capabilities of the page map for a SAP Fiori list page. So if you are creating an SAP Fiori Elements app for SAP Fiori list page, so you can use the page map editor to make changes to the SAP Fiori list page, where the entire SAP Fiori page, including the table fields and much more, can be adjusted. So you can do all these things using the page map editor. You can say, for example, add fields to the table and a lot more things you can do in a visual manner like this. So over the course of the next exercises, you will get your hands on these tools. So now summary, you are now familiar with how different UIs can be served in the CAP project, and you have learned about the out-of-the-box support for SAP Fiori UIs and SAP Fiori tools to speed up your UI development. These are the links provided for further reading. You can go through them. So that's about in this particular module. Then now we will go to the next module or the next lesson called generating a user interface. So this is an exercise which we will go through and we will execute this exercise. We'll go through the business example. So it says that we'll be using SAP Fiori Elements app basically in our CAP application. And SAP Fiori Elements app, it uses SAP UI5 library itself, its controls and its model view controller concept. So basically most of the code of the SAP Fiori Elements app, it resides outside your project and it is managed centrally by the SAP Fiori Elements team at SAP. The code inside your project, it basically references these central components, the central components of your Fiori Elements app, and which takes care of creating the UI according to the latest Fiori design guidelines and covers all the controller logic for you out of the box. So this is the advantage of using SAP Fiori Elements app. It basically takes care of creating the UI according to the latest guidelines, and it covers the controller logic out of the box. So the UI, you can influence the UI by using OData annotations. So to determine, for example, which properties of an OData service make up the columns of a table that displays the content of the service. So just as an example, this you can do by in the UI for the UI can be influenced by using the OData annotations. Now for the exercise options, we will go through the live environment and we will make use of our Business Application Studio to execute these steps one by one. So this is our application which we have created in the previous tutorials, the risk management application. So to create the UI application, the SAP Fiori Elements UI application, we will invoke the command palette. For that, we have to press Ctrl-Shift-P in a Windows system. So Fiori open application generator. This will open the application generator template wizard for us, which we will use to create our Fiori Elements UI application. So we'll choose the template type SAP Fiori and list report page. Then we have to select the data source. The data source we will select as we use a local cap project, and we will choose our risk management project here as the data source, and the OData service, we will select the risk service node.js. The main entity we will select as risks as the main entity. And yeah, automatically add table columns. We will select yes and click on next. Now we will provide the project attributes. So module name as risk management. App title as again risk management. Then namespace, we will provide the namespace here. Description, risk management application. Then the other radio buttons, add FLP configuration, configure, we will select them as no, and we click on finish. So now what this will do, it will generate the application for you, this application generator, and you can see the application generated in the app folder of your CAP application. So you can see the files have been generated, and this is the application information, and inside the app folder, this is the risk management. This is our UI application. This is the web app folder where all the content, code content of our application resides. So this is the application it has generated. Now, if we will just execute the CDS watch command, so service is listening to port 4004. We will open it. And we see under the web application section, we have our risk management web apps index.html, this link to our web application. So it opens up the risk management application, basically this application. And if we click on go, we can see the data which is being retrieved from our backend, which is exposed by our OData service. Now what we have to do, we will make some changes to the look and feel of our UI application. And for that, we will make use of UI annotations. So now what we have to do is in our Fiori Elements application, okay, we'll add some columns and form fields, and we'll rename these column names using the UI annotations. So first of all, UI specific annotations, either you can write them manually to the annotation file, like a file with this extension .cds-files, which you can create under your risk management UI application. Either you can manually write your annotations there, or you can visually do that by making use of the SAP Fiori tools. So these tools are pre-installed in the Business Application Studio. So in the following step, we will make use of the SAP Fiori tools, and we will make use of the page map to make changes to our UI application. So to open the page map, we just go to we'll open the SAP Fiori view here. And here we can see our Fiori application, risk management, and we can just open the map, which opens the page map for us. So this is the page map of our UI application where we can edit the UI. So first of all, we will edit the list report. So this is the list report where we are showing the list of risks. So we click on the edit button. Filter field. So we will add a filter field here. Header section, filter bar, filter fields. So we'll add a filter field, add filter fields. And what filter field we have to add? We'll add prio_code as a filter field. So prio_code, add. Then we rename the filter field and we'll activate the localization for I18N. So we rename this field as priority. Okay, the filter field is not appearing. I'll just refresh my business application studio. Okay, so I can see the filter field here now. Now I will change the label name to priority, and I will also add an I18 for this particular text. So that is done. So basically I18 to activate, we have to activate localization. So it will basically create an I18 file and it will add the text for this priority into that I18N file. So here it is written, by clicking on apply in the I8 underscore I18N folder will be added to your project and the name is set to variable this. So when you access the application later, your browser's default language will be used to choose from which language to choose. So that is why this I18N is required. Now update the table columns. So we can see these are the table columns here, columns. These are the table columns which are currently being displayed in our list page for the risks. So we'll rename title to title. And again, we will generate a text file for I18N for this particular text title. Then we'll update the other columns also, owner. So we'll update this text to owner and we'll apply the I18N changes. So it will just add this particular text to the I18N file. And then prior code to priority. Then DESCR, this field, we will remove this column. And impact, we will change to impact. Okay. Now we'll add a new column for mitigation description. So here we can add a column, add basic columns. And we'll select MITI description. So this column, this is coming from the mitigation entity. Rename the mitigation field to mitigation. So this is what we will name it as mitigation. Again, we will apply the I18N changes. And this mitigation, we will move it up. We'll move it next to the title column. Go back to the page map. Fine. So these changes are already done. We go back to the page map and now we will make changes to the object page. Okay, we edit the object page now. So in the object page, what we have to do, we have to configure the header section, set the following properties of the header section. So this is risk object page. Yeah, this is the header section. So here we have to set the properties of the header section. For title, we will provide this title property. Yes. Then description type, we'll select as property for description type, and which property we have to select, DESCR. Yeah. Then icon, we have to provide this value in the icon alert. Icon URL. So this is how we are configuring the values for our header section. Yeah. Remove the general information section under the sections. So this header section, general information, we will remove this general information section from here. And add a new group section and name it risk overview. Okay. We go to sections and we add a new group section and we name it risk overview. In the newly created risk overview section, add a new form section, call it risk details. Okay. We'll add a subsection, add form section, and we'll call it risk details. Add basic fields to the risk details section. So in the risk details section, we will add some basic fields. So we expand the risk details form fields and we add some basic fields. So what all fields we have to add? We have to add title, owner, description, prior code, and impact. Okay. So title, owner, description, prior code, and impact. So added all these basic fields to the risk details subsection. Yeah. Title, owner, description, priority, and impact. Title, owner, description, priority, and impact. Rename the fields accordingly and enable localization. So title will be renamed as title. Okay. And enable localization. Then owner, just change the text and enable localization. DESCR is changed to description. Okay. Okay. Priority and impact. Yeah. So we are done with this step. Then add a new group section and call it mitigation overview. So we have to add another group section. We go to subsections. One is risk details, and we have another group section, and we will name it to mitigation overview. New group section. Another group section added, mitigation overview. Then add a new form section and call it mitigation details form section inside the group section. Yeah. Okay, I think I added this mitigation overview inside the risk overview, so I'll delete it. Okay. Subsection risk details, risk overview. Okay, fine. Sections, risk overview, subsections, risk details. Okay. So risk overview, subsections, risk details, and fields. Yeah. Now add a new group section and call it mitigation overview. So this I have to add here outside the risk overview. We have to add here. Here we will add another subsection, group section. We'll call it mitigation overview. Add a new form section and call it mitigation details. So add form section, call it mitigation details. Add basic fields to the mitigation details form. So these are the basic fields which we will add. This is our mitigation details form fields. We will add basic fields here. So MITI ID, MITI owner, MITI timeline. MITI ID, MITI slash owner, and MITI slash timeline. So these are the fields we add to our mitigation details section. Now rename and configure the added basic fields. So first of all, we'll configure MITI ID, rename mitigation to mitigation. Okay. So for this MITI ID, we will rename it to mitigation. And we enable I18N here. Then text. Okay. Enable localization, we did that. And then additionally choose DESCR as value for the text property. So here in this particular, for this particular column, the text property, we will select DESCR here. MITI DESCR. Okay. Yeah. Then text arrangement, text only. Okay. For display type, choose value help. So here for display type, choose value help. So for the display type, value help is already there. Now we'll configure the value help. So we click on this edit properties and okay, label, we'll put label as mitigation. Value source entity is mitigations. Value source property ID, value description property DESCR. Okay. And text arrangement none. And that's it. Now we can just apply. So we have configured the value help for our MITI ID. Now rename and configure owner. We go to the owner field here. And first of all, we change its label. Okay. Enable localization. Okay. And restrictions, we say read only. Okay. Now rename and configure timeline field. We go to the timeline field. We change its label. We enable localization here again. And again, restrictions as read only. Okay. Now we can preview the application. So our CDS watch is still running. And if I just go to the terminal, I can just open this localhost URL. And if I run the application, our Fiori Elements application now, click on go. So you can see the names, these column names have been changed now, whatever we provided in our page map editor. And if I click on one particular row, we can see the details here. So select one entry on the list page. Okay, go fetch the data and navigate to the object page. So we navigate to the object page. So all this data, it is the layout is basically coming from what changes we have made in the page editor. Now we choose edit to update the entry. So let's click on edit. Test the value help. Different mitigation and choose save. So in the mitigation details, we make use of the value help and we choose a different value, say embargo violation. And we click on save. So it updates the draft first, and then when we click on save, it will update it down to the database. So object has been saved now. So this is what we have achieved. We have created our Fiori Elements UI application in the project folder. In the project structure, we can see it inside the app folder. This I18N folder gets created because we enabled localization for a lot of fields and columns. So this is how this I18N file gets created. And this is our Fiori Elements UI application. And when we run it, this is how the application has come up. So when done, you have created a SAP Fiori Elements UI. In the next unit, you will add custom business logic. So this particular lesson is completed now, where we created a user interface for our CAP application. In the next lesson, quiz is there. So we'll go through the quiz. So let's see. Which of the following is a feature of SAP Fiori tools designed to visually assist in SAP Fiori UI development? So page map, we know page map is a feature of the SAP Fiori tools. We just made use of that. Which statement is true about CAP's interaction with user interfaces? So CAP services can be consumed by any UI framework through standard AJAX requests. So this is the correct answer. They are not limited to SAP Fiori UIs, and CAP services can only be consumed by other backend services. This is also not true. Like only this is not true. What tooling is pre-installed in SAP Business Application Studio to speed up SAP Fiori UI development? So SAP Fiori tools is pre-installed. So we'll submit the answers and 3 on 3. So we have completed unit 3 also now, serving user interfaces in CAP. In the next module or in the next unit, we will go through adding custom business logic. So thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next video for the next unit.